Greetings and welcome to the next edition of What's Holding You Back. My name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network, and I am so excited for the broadcast that is going to be coming before you this evening, this afternoon, this morning, depending on where in the world you are watching this broadcast from. So I just want to say good evening and blessings unto you all, and thank you for joining us. We have a jam-packed program in store for you this afternoon. And yes, we have our number one cheerleader, our very own Elevate with Vern. Blessings, Vern. Good to have you on board with us this evening. And we also have Kimberly Brooks. Good evening to you as well. And Life of Jerry, good evening, and thank you all for joining us. So yes, we're very excited for the program this afternoon as we have a very special guest that is on board with us, and she is none other than Debra Anthony. She is the self-care counselor. So stay tuned. We're going to bring her on in just a few minutes. But as we get started with the program, it is always our custom to share what the purpose of this particular broadcast is. So the reason why we're bringing forth these broadcasts every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time is that we want to make sure that you are educated and empowered to become the best possible version of yourself. We want to make sure that you are mentally, spiritually, and financially equipped to overcome any obstacles and barriers in which you may face in your life. So all that we ask is that you invest the next 20 to 30 minutes with us and be a part of this broadcast, and we're going to walk you through the process. So we want to make sure that you are fully equipped. So if you ever want to pursue a business for yourself, we're going to share all the tips, strategies, and guides to help you along that process and get you to the place in which you want to be. So last week we had a very good subject matter in which we talked about how to manage your financial breakthrough when that actually comes to pass. And if you missed that broadcast, I want to encourage you to go back to our YouTube channels. My co-host Christine Allen's YouTube channel is Clear Ambitions, and she will be on with us momentarily. And my YouTube channel is Rob McCray Networking. Please go over and watch that broadcast. It was some very influential information that was shared in as far as what to do with those finances when they start to come through for you, and how to allocate that to make sure that you're able to sustain your wealth and create that generational wealth for yourself and your family as well. So that was last week's broadcast. Brother Dale, good evening, my brother. Good to see you. Always a pleasure to have you on with us. All right, so now we're going to get into our word of inspiration. And for the topic that we're going to be talking about today in dealing with self-care, this is truly in line with that. And it reads, how you treat yourself is how you're inviting the world to treat you. And that is oh so true. You know, we all have to understand and establish that you have dominion on earth. You are a mighty power in this world, and you cannot let anyone take authority over your life. You have been given authority and dominion by God as a walking vessel on this earth. So how you treat yourself is how people are going to look upon you and how they're going to treat you. So you make sure you walk with your head high and you demand people's respect when you step into the room. So you must give respect in order to get respect. But don't let anyone speak down to you, disrespect you, or treat you any kind of way, because you are one of dominion and you have authority, and you must be treated as such. And this next slide It states wisdom is really about figuring out the long term consequences of your actions. So, in talking about the consequences of your actions, let's just look at our eating habits and what we allow into our body, our vessel. And we know that many of the health conditions that would come about in our lives are mainly come about because of our diet and what we're eating, what we are consuming. So that's a part of taking care of yourself, that self-care process where you're having that determination and that obedience within yourself that you're not going to allow yourself to to just eat anything and consume anything within your body. You have to be disciplined and say that, yo, I only get one of these, I only get one vessel. We only get one time around this merry-go-round. So if you don't take care of this body and this vessel, it's going to deplete your health and you're going to run into so many problems in life. And it can be avoided if you just take that proper self care and treating yourself right. Good evening, Christine Allen. Blessings, my sis. Good to have you with us.
Good to be here. Good to be here. It's definitely you time. I love the wisdom is really about figuring the long-term consequences of
Yes.
your actions.
Mhm.
Wow.
You have any more to add on to that?
The wisdom itself is, looking at you're saying in this quote, looking at the long-term consequences of your actions. And there's a saying that says you don't know what you don't know. So sometimes folks will make decisions according to their past. Uh, you're saying hello.
That's so good.
Yes, according to their past, and so it's really in not only a knowledge based, but
Mhm.
if you hone in and look at patterns, patterns, not only what you've been through, maybe other folks have been through, we can glean from that as well to think about the consequences of your actions, the long-term consequences. So always, always, always pause, breathe. And there are some rules of when not to make a decision.
Yes.
Yes, when not to move. Don't move when you're too happy. That's when nobody talks about. But when you're really happy,
Uh-huh.
just got a windfall and you're on a good streak. Anything goes. Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah,
Right,
yeah. You can have
right.
the cottage for the weekend. You can have. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And without thinking about the long-term consequences of who really is going to be in your place without your supervision, and you don't
Absolutely.
make decisions also leading with wisdom when you're sad. So um, you know, the one waters are calm.
Mhm.
That's when you make those decisions. When there's an equilibrium, there isn't a bias. You're not too sad, you're not too happy. I mean, it's
And a
equal
good
on the
place.
equal
Yes.
playing field. Yeah. So love that.
Absolutely.
That's great food for thought, Rob.
Yes, love that, Christine. Thank you for sharing that. All right, all right. So, are we ready to bring on our guest for this evening?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Looking forward to this meaningful conversation. If you haven't done so, invite a friend into the chat room. I see that we have a lot of comments coming in.
Yes,
Invite a friend to the What's Holding You Back episode for today. It's absolutely an intriguing conversation ahead.
absolutely. So, yes. So, without no further ado, let us bring on our special guest for this evening. And let me just tell you a little bit about her before we bring her out. And
Hmm.
her name is Debra Anthony, and she is a self care counselor coming out of St. Louis, Missouri. The show me state. Yes, you better show me. And Deb is a licensed professional school counselor. She is an author of positive relationships and mindset advocate of
Okay.
children's well being and also for parents' self care.
Mhm.
So please get your emojis ready to help me welcome our very own Debra Anthony. Good evening, my sis. Please unmute your mic and join us on What's Holding You Back.
Hello, hello everyone. And I want to say hello to the Booski compound that's in the audience.
Yes, that is none other than Elevate with Vern and her whole Booski. Yes, family. They are definitely on board with us this evening. Yes.
Right, right.
All right. So, Deb, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your coming up, your upbringing. What was your
Mhm.
childhood like, and all of that good stuff.
My name is Debra Anthony. I am a licensed professional counselor, certified school counselor in St. Louis, Missouri, owner of Talk It Out Counseling Services, creator of therapeutic products and programs. And
Hmm.
so, what I do, I help people with self care, mindset shifts, communication skills, and I advocate for children and parents as well.
Hmm.
So I grew up in a two-parent home. I
Okay.
am the youngest of seven,
Wow.
and my parents had several businesses. They had three stores, um, and they taught me so much. I learned so much in the business of customer service and things like that. I do have a brother that's a school teacher. He's been a school teacher for over 30 some years. I learned a lot from him. But yeah, my parents, they taught me a lot. They taught me about God. I went to church every Sunday. And, back then, we didn't have a choice about going to church. We had to get up
Yep.
and go to church. And that is a lot of what we're missing now with our kids. They have too many options, you
Say it
know,
again. Say
and
it again.
yes. So God and church was instilled in me at a very young age.
Hmm.
And and so that's why I try to be the best version of myself because my parents were there for me. They helped me to be who I am today.
Hmm.
Although, obstacles along the way, but God never fails. He's always there. He's
Amen.
always there.
Amen. So that entrepreneurial mindset that came from your parents.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Wow. So, now that you've set the stage and told us a little bit about your background, welcome once more to What's Holding You Back and something about counseling. I
Hmm.
think there I heard a little bit of a tidbit of really what maybe were the crumbs, that led you to that aha moment, that moment that you found your sweet spot, which is counseling. You can tell by just how uh, you light up when you speak about advocating for children. And so, what was the first time? What was your first memory of advocating for a child?
Well, how I got into counseling, I was I was in the dental hygiene program. I have a certification in dental assisting. So initially, I was in the program, but it just did not work out for me.
Hmm.
And so I ended up being a substitute teacher and then I would like fill in for counselors that may have been out like on maternity leave, sick leave, or whatever. And
Hmm.
I got a lot of compliments on that. And I had several people to ask me had I ever thought about going into counseling. And then when I thought about it, I was like, okay. And so I signed up for the program at Lindenwood University and ended up getting a master's in professional counseling and a master's in as a school counselor as well. But I'm going to tell you an aha moment for me
Hmm.
is my father died when I was like 18 years old. And he had a stroke once before and then he didn't take his meds and things like that. He ate what he wanted to eat and he just did not listen to the doctors. And so if he had, listened to the doctors, took his meds and things like that, he could have lived longer, I think. So if I can help it, and if I can help another parent to implement self-care into their daily life, so their child will not have to go through what I went through with my father. And so that was what an aha moment for me, because my dad was a very good man. He did a lot for the community and things. But he didn't see me walk across the stage or see me graduate from college or anything like that. But so if I can help the next parent, and I can help a parent to be okay for their child, then that is why I do what I do.
Excellent. So, Deb, let me ask you: are you of the belief that everyone at some point in their life should go through some type of counseling?
Yeah, and if you really think about it, in back in the day, Black parents didn't talk about counseling.
No.
It was a stereotype that, if you received counseling, that
Something wrong
something
with
was wrong with you.
Exactly.
You had a mental illness, that type of thing. And that's why I created a memoir called Talk It Out, Don't Block It Out. And in the memoir, it talks about some things that happened in my life. And if I had just gotten counseling for it, how things could have been different. But we have to change the stigma that counseling is just for people that may be mentally ill or challenged or whatever. Counseling is for anyone. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to. You need someone to just listen to you, and it's more room out than in. Talking, expressing yourself, journaling, and all the things is a way to get feelings out of your body, out of your head, so you can feel better. Because if you hold all of that in, those emotions in, and never release, but at some point, what you think will happen. And that's why you see some people, they commit suicide. They are being stereotyped because they may have a certain lifestyle. And we just have to, as a community, have to meet people where they are, and pray for people, and try to be a servant to help someone that may be going through, because you never know what a person is going through.
And we're going to come up with a slide here. There is so much that you spoke about. I wanted to just touch on a few topics, but first we're going to hone in on, this would be your website, Debra?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. So walk us through, if we go to your website, what's the theme? Of course, counseling, wellness, the purpose of someone engaging on your website. What do you want them to leave with?
Well, as you can see, there are testimonials on my website. If you look right there, where if you come down a little bit more, there is a picture with Oprah. Go down or go up. There you go, right there. There is a picture with Oprah and this other lady. Her name is Jamie Kern, and she created the book called Worthy. If you look at the top of this Zoom, I am in the Zoom with Oprah.
Wow.
And this lady, Jamie Kern, and she created the book Worthy, which is an amazing book on how you have to love yourself and for other people to love you too.
Wow.
You can't pour into an empty cup. If you don't love yourself, how you think people are going to love you? But there are a lot of things that I offer on my website. I have a customer service class that's coming up in November. I have, as you can see, my supportive sisters are on here. And that's Tanya right there. Yes, Tanya, Vern, and Kim and myself, and we have done several lives on various topics. Also, you will see I have a self-care program that's available for parents and individuals to implement into their daily life. And the takeaway is that I am available, even if you need a free consultation, just someone to talk to, so maybe I can just guide you in the right direction. And I did. I've had several free parenting support groups as well, and that I facilitated. And yeah, and so if you go through the products, you would see that I have T-shirts with my trademark logo, where it says "Every child matters," and so I advocate for children. I did, this T-shirt thing where every week we would wear T-shirts on Tuesdays and advocate for children. And we all know that that is so important because, because you have children doesn't make you good parents. And so when people in politics, when they talk about people needing to uh, be parents, well, what about the people that are parents? Because there are a lot of people that are parents and they're not taking good care of their children. So that's why I advocate as much as I can.
Excellent. So yeah, Deb. So we were talking behind the scenes. So now, Deb, you're just coming back from your award ceremony, and you received a very prestigious award, a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, last week in Atlanta. So tell us a little bit about that trip and how you were nominated for that award.
Well, I was nominated through a young lady that has the Hope House School. Her name is Dr. Tahara Lee.
Hmm.
You can follow her on Instagram. Well, we were on a live together and connected. I didn't know her long, but she nominated me um, to get the award. And I really, at the time, didn't think much of it.
Hmm.
But then the ambassador, Dr. Brown, reached out to me, and they offered the award to me, and so I followed through the process. And the drive to Atlanta was it's a lot of traffic in Atlanta,
Yeah.
but it was worth it. The award was worth the drive. I think it was maybe 30 to 40 recipients that received like their doctrine, that
Mhm.
received the presidential award, and so I can show you how it looks.
Please, yes. So yes, while she's getting her award, please give it up for Deb. Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. Do you know how special that really is? Wow,
This
just
is
give it up. Oh wow. That's so nice, Deb. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well deserved. And you also have a medal as well, right?
right, and this is the medal.
Woo!
Deborah, can
Okay.
can you
Yes.
can
Wow.
you read can you read that award out loud, please?
Sure.
Mm,
It says Lifetime Achievement Award, the
Mhm.
President's Lifetime Achievement Award, with grateful recognition, AmeriCorps, and the Office of the President of the United States honors Debra Michelle Anthony with the President's Lifetime Achievement Award for their lifelong commitment to building a stronger nation through volunteer service. And as you can see, it has President Biden's signature
okay.
Mhm.
at the bottom, and it says President Joseph R. Biden Jr. 2024 awarded.
All right. All right. All right. That that leads me to my next point, where I had debate with someone earlier this week, and I said I'm tired of looking at TikToks that come up and talk about what folks are not doing,
Hmm.
what folks are, not doing for people of color,
Yes.
And they said to me, you know what, Christine, there's actually a lot of people doing things, but you don't hear about it.
So true.
And so that's why I wanted you to read that out loud. And I hope that's, someone is encouraged that volunteers are the backbone of so many organizations. Um, and volunteers like yourself, there are children out there not only hungry for food, but hungry for substance. And what I love about what you're doing and what you've said in regards to the art of connection, the human innate need for connection, hiding behind social media has really suffocated, it's suffocated a lot of our youth. It's not, forget about the adults. I think there's one of the questions coming up. Counseling adults or kids, which one would you, I mean, what wheelhouse would you rather?
Right.
I come back to say that, hitting the nail on the head, going back to conversations, and yes, back in the day we had to go to church. Back in the day we also sat at the dinner table, and back in the day you had grandma and grandpa that would, not formally counsel you, but they would tell you their old wives' tales, or they would tell you their opinion, or tell you words of wisdom. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I really love that, and I honor folks like you across the entire globe that are, the village mentality. You care for children that are not your own, and that's really honorable. So congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, and Deb, also, so some of the licenses, achievements, and other degrees that you have, please share that with us as well.
Mhm. And
Okay. No, go
right,
ahead.
you mentioned free consultation, but there is a fee for service, because you are an entrepreneur. And I just want folks to know that, in regards to just investing, don't look at it as an expense, it's an investment. What you're learning from Debra Anthony is a lifelong lesson, not just for you, but for for your entire household. So I encourage you to invest in this entrepreneur, this woman's vision, passion, purpose
Thank
for
you, Kim.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
We Rob had a question about and adults or children. Which one would you rather counsel? Which one do you prefer to counseling? We might already know the answer, but I want you to say it.
Well, also, I want to show you guys that I was a school counselor for 18 years, a substitute teacher for 6 years, and when I retired from St. Louis City Public Schools, I received a plaque of my service. As you can see, it says 24 years with working with children and families. And I've worked with adults, I've worked with teenagers, I've worked with parents that were going through custody battles. That one case, this one lady that I worked with, she did win. And yeah, I've worked with teenagers. I've worked with them all. I've worked with married couples. I love the children. I love working with children, but with the adults, I love working with married couples too.
Okay, there you have it.
Hmm.
Awesome. This is great.
It is very much so. So, Deb, tell us. So, what are some of the most common problems that you come across in your counseling sessions?
From the school standpoint, also, on a personal, working with clients through my business,
Hmm.
family conflict.
Yes.
There is a lot of family conflict in the home.
Hmm.
Also, there is a where parents, children are raising children, and the family structure
Broken.
is not there.
Right.
And we know in a lot of the homes, the two-parent homes, there's not two-parent homes in a lot of cases. And I would say, you know, dads are not available like they should be. Um, but then there are parents, mothers.
Hmm.
Sometimes they're on drugs.
Right.
Sometimes there is just a lot of factors, but in the school setting, definitely family conflict, drugs, is a big one. Violence,
Mhm.
guns, that type of thing. Yes, the environment is not pleasant
Mhm.
because you may have a lot of grown people in the home that's indulging in drugs and things like that, and they're not being safe with their children. In a lot of cases, more than you would think.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow, what a great service.
yeah, yeah. So, Deb, last two questions for you. So, one, um, what would you say? Uh, what were some of the things that actually held you back when you were first starting out in getting your counseling career started?
I would say being around the wrong people
Hmm.
because believe it or not, your environment has a lot to do. The people that you associate with has a lot to do with your success.
Yes.
If you're around people that's not striving to do anything, not being motivated to do anything, they can stagnate you if you stay in that environment. And
Absolutely.
so when I realized that and got those people out of my life that was stagnating me,
Hmm.
that's when I was able to soar in school and complete school and that type of thing. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Last question for me. So, what was your breakthrough moment for you where you knew that you are going to be able to elevate and take your career to the next level?
For one it was always just something in me that I knew I had to be great
Hmm.
because of my parents and what they instilled in me.
Okay.
But during the pandemic, I was lying in my bed, and this was like in 2020, and the presence of God, the Holy Spirit, led me to create my memoir. And so I went to the kitchen table and I just started writing.
Mm-hmm.
And after I got a lot of compliments on the memoir, and it just inspired me to do more. And then connecting with wonderful people,
Mhm.
collaborating and networking with wonderful people like the supportive sisters, Jerry, and all these other entrepreneurs. And I can just name so many, Dr. Tahara Lee. I can go on, and people like yourselves, and connecting with people, like minded people,
Yeah.
coaches, and things like that. It just allowed me to have a different mindset about success.
Amen.
And so, and that's when I knew that I have so much to give, but you can't give if you don't put yourself out there.
Come on. Mhm.
Okay.
There it is. Christine, you have any final questions?
No questions. I think we've covered all the bases. Everyone can see the website where they can get connected today with Debra Anthony and find out what you don't know. Because, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes you just feel like you're on a treadmill. You're walking, you're getting up every day, brushing your teeth, going out there, but you're not going anywhere, though. I'm sure, Deborah, right? You can help somebody out with that. You can
Right.
definitely help them connect the dots. We often speak about children raising children, and so I'm advocating near and dear to my heart also is a single moms out there, and I'm sure you've championed and been a warrior cape and been that Wonder Woman for so many parents out there. So I want to thank you once more for sharing your story and your inspiration. I'm inspired. I definitely will refer you to anyone I know that will want you want your services. One last question before we close out. In in the realm of counseling, do counselors need counseling as well?
Absolutely. I
Hmm.
have a licensed clinical social worker that I talk to all the time. We talk to one another,
Okay.
and because, especially for counselors, because we take in so much,
Mm,
we have to release,
Yeah.
okay.
and we have to incorporate self-care ourselves. And so, and I want to just show you guys, if you go to Instagram to Deb the Counselor, I have a free self-care calendar.
Okay.
And if you click on the link tree and sign up for the VIP email list, it will give you a copy of this self-care counselor that has 35 things on it that you can do to incorporate self-care into your daily life.
Nice. That's an awesome way to end the program today. It definitely is you time. You have 35 ways.
Wow.
Is that right?
35 is 35 things that you can do to incorporate self-care into your daily life.
And you say they can get that from your Instagram account?
Yes, you go to Deb the Counselor, click on Linktree, and then you're going to see VIP email and self-care calendar. And you can I have this posted on my refrigerator. So, and it just reminds you that, okay, today I may not go for a walk, but I can journal write, or I can spend some quality time with the children, or I can make sure I drink plenty of water today. Let me eat something healthy, you know, and it goes on and on and on.
Love it. Love it. Love it, Deb. So yes, we're going to close out the segment pretty soon. But Deb, just stay on with us. We want to speak to you in the background a little bit after we close out this session. But yes, we thank you so much for coming on board with us this evening and sharing those very helpful tips. And I hope and encourage each and every one of you to take heed to the word that Deb has shared with us. Go to her website, go to her Instagram page, and download that calendar in which she just showed us, and take advantage of this. And, you know, like Deb said, you know, we all need someone to talk to, express ourselves, and find answers to the questions and issues that we're going through in life. Because we all have our own separate issues and things that we're going through. And it's always good to have an outlet to express ourselves and not keep it in within, because that's going to create a lot of damage for ourselves, especially men. So brothers, I'm especially talking to you. You need an outlet to release, just someone to talk to, and, you know, throw some things at the board and, you know, try to get some resolution. So Deb, we thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Time well spent. Love it.
All right. So we're going to see you in a little bit, Deb. All right. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
We'd like to thank everyone for joining us today on What's Holding You Back. We trust that you found this conversation very insightful, something you can definitely use for the entire week, and by extension, you like and share it. That's right. We want you to take heed to the importance of your wellness. All right. It's definitely something that will hold you back if you don't take care of it. Right.
I'm trying to tell you.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yes, it'll get you every time. Yes, people, very important. We must take care of ourselves in any way possible. Take that time out to take care of yourself.
And speaking of self-care, we want to wish folks in Florida our prayers and well wishes. And we absolutely, our prayers are with you. And we look forward to hearing the victory reports as we are resilient folks in overcoming adversities. Oh, thank you so much once more for joining us. We'll see you next week. Myself, I am Christine Allen from Clear Ambitions, Mentorship and Speakers.
And I am Rob McCray from the Business Building Network. And please, if you have not subscribed to both of our YouTube channels, please go ahead and do so. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you will be notified each and every time we go live or put up a new video. So yes, so for next week, we're just going to give you a quick preview. We're going to have my man, Dwayne the Credit Man Reed.
Oh my goodness. Talk about a meaningful conversation. Some folks get ready for your ouch buttons. Ouch.
Get ready. Get ready. Yes. He's going to bring it. So for all of you that need help with restoring your credit or improving your credit, you want to make sure you tune in next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on both of our YouTube channels, and be a part of that segment. It is genuinely going to be a conversation that you do not want to miss. So, on behalf of Christine Allen from Clear Ambitions, my name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you once again next week here on